You're the queen. I'm sorry, madam, I didn't recognize you. Next. Oh, there.
Do you guys find it hard staying voices while you're recording sessions?
It depends on the voice. Usually, if it's something that is like Priscilla and Claymore for me, there's only way that I can only do that voice for maybe an hour before it kills me. And like higher pitched voices, like Chopper, Tamama, anything that's taxing on the voice, I try not to do more than like 2 hours. But if it's just me talking, I could do like 4 or 5 hours, no problem. What about you?
Likewise.
You. Oh wait, no, you go.
How did you get into business?
I just paid people lots of money. No, I was an actor. I was an actor to begin with. I did a lot of stage work and everything. When I was 16, I was a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. I did tours at Funimation Studios. Christopher Sabat was in the booth. Ironically, he's one of my best friends now, and I work for him all the time. I had taken a tour of Funimation Studios, and I remember watching them record and thinking, I could do that. So when I graduated high school, I was studying music and theater, and I ended up going to a community college that was about 2 miles away from the studio, so I just walked in and I asked how to audition. They put me on a waiting list for an open call, and I ended up being able to audition 2 months later. However, now that waiting list is like 2 years, so the best way to get in now is by making a demo and trying to get an agent, or making a demo and sending it in. Also, you would have to live in Texas. That's another thing. If you wanted to get into anime, if you wanted to get into Funimation. If you want to get into anime, you want to live in either LA or Dallas or Houston. So basically, LA or Texas, and there's a little bit in New York as well. What about you?
Funimation kidnapped my parents. So I'm contracted to do a certain amount of time before they let them go. I'm not lying. Stop laughing! Oh my God, you guys are terrible people.
Yes, I am.
No, I sent in a demo to Funimation when I was living in Hawaii because I'm a dude, and for some reason they contacted me and were like, hey, you have a nice sounding voice. Would you like to try out for us and whatnot? And long story short, somehow they keep calling me back, and I don't know why.
Because you're awesome. Next. Now you. Come in your PJs? Dude, all the time. Are you kidding me? It's so funny. Anytime that I come in and I actually look nice at Funimation, people are like, oh, do you have an on-camera audition today? Because that's the only reason I ever come in when I look nice. So anytime that I have makeup on or even like look somewhat presentable, they're like, oh, on-camera audition today? Okay.
I don't wear makeup for Funimation. I usually look like this, a disheveled college kid, which I am, but yes, more power to us, right? What's fashion?
You, in the orange.
That's you. That's you.
Okay. What has been your favorite role to do?
For me, probably Natsucon in Summer Wars has the most sentimental value, although Tamama in Sergeant Frog is one of the most fun, and CL in Black Butler is the most deep as far as like really getting into a character.
I enjoyed working on Birdie the Mighty. That was cool.
I guess you got to work with me.
Yes, that was super cool. You were in it? No, actually, love that. And I also recorded for a cross-dresser class president named Liz in Okami-san. He was a lot of fun. And there's a show that we just finished working on that we can't talk about, but it's probably the most fun I've ever had on a show. 13 episodes. It's called, and one of the main characters in it, and it's awesome.
Next, you.
How do you go from so many different characters like Chitalia to Polo or Mia?
Talent. I'm just kidding. I think honestly, as far as my versatility and being able to do different voices comes from the fact that when I do a lot of singing in different styles, and I think I just took what I learned from learning to sing in so many different styles, just kind of adapted that to voice acting. I think another thing that probably helped me too is that I'm a very goofy person, and I like to just do voices voices randomly, and I practiced doing other voices. Practice makes perfect. As cheesy as that is, it's very true.
She also uses steroids. Someone had a question. Actually, yeah, let's go over there. Hi.
Brina, how did you enjoy playing a gay ninja?
Why did I play a gay ninja? Because that sounds awesome. It was awesome. Are you talking about me harder, right? Yeah. I loved Brina, and I think that has one of the most bittersweet endings of any show I've ever done ever. But it was beautiful. I thought it was beautifully animated, and I thought it was a really beautiful story. And I think the relationship between Yoichi and Miharu is one of the sweetest relationships I've ever portrayed in anything. I think it's so sweet. I loved it. That's all. Next! You pick.
Yeah.
Who's your inspiration for both of you guys?
For acting?
Well, I can tell you, Micah is Brina Palencia.
I love you.
Sorry. Just kidding. Let me think about it.
I'm a big fan of Frank Welker. He's essentially everyone's childhood and then some. If you watch a Disney movie, he's usually one of the animals. For instance, in Aladdin, he was Abu, the monkey. He's also known for Frank Welker, not Frank, Freddy and Scooby in the Scooby-Doo franchise, Megatron, Soundwave, all those guys. So, yeah, he's the voice god, and I think he's pretty amazing stuff.
I think for me, voice actors that I really loved growing up, and I didn't really know who they... I never paid attention to who voice actors were, I just paid attention to who the characters were. But when I got older and actually became a voice actor, and now I know who they are, probably Richard Corbett is actually one of my favorite character actors. He played Invader Zim, and he was in Angry Beavers, which is one of my favorite cartoons growing up. And I actually got to do a convention with him in Australia, and we're like best friends now. Not really, but he's fantastic, and he was really nice and awesome. And it's always cool whenever you meet like a childhood hero, and they turn out to not be a total douche. Like, it was great. He was so nice and so supportive. Like, I told him about all my projects that I'm doing, and he was like really supportive and really cool. Billy West, I remember a lot too. I haven't met him yet. One day. But I think he's awesome too. He's one of my favorites. Yes.
Me?
Yeah.
Cool. When you're doing your voice acting in the studios, do you do it alongside with the people that your character's interacting, or do you just go in, do the lines, then another time the other person comes in, do the lines, and then they just edit it together?
The latter is what happens. It's always, we always have them separately. I don't want to say always. I mean, there's some very, very few exceptions when we actually do get to record together. But it's rare that that happens because we have to, since it is a dub, we have to match the animation, and it just gets too complicated, and there's always bleed through with other people being in the booth. Yeah, usually we have to do it by ourselves, which is why the director is so important in anime, which is why I think it's interesting that no one ever really cares who the ADR director is, it seems like. But, I mean, those shows would not be as good as they are if it weren't for the ADR director. Because when we come in as the actor, we typically don't know very much about the show at all, or our characters. Sometimes we know nothing, and we have to rely completely on the director to know what it's going to end up sounding like. And a lot of times the other people are not there, they aren't already recorded, so we have no idea what they're going to sound like. So the director has to be thinking of what that's going to be like and make sure that whatever you're doing makes sense with what they're going to end up doing. So, yes. Anything to add?
No.
Hey, you pick.
Bless you. Yes, sir.
How did you develop the voice of Tomahawk?
How did I develop the voice of Tona?
How did you come up with that?
I don't know. He just looked really cute. I don't know. That's just what he looked like to me. when I auditioned, I was like, "You're so cute, you little frog. Look at him. Look at him." That's how I did it. You.
Do you have a favorite character line ever, and would you do the rest? Which is your personal favorite?
I do, but it's for a show that's not out yet. Oh, you know what? Okay, it's a tie between the bromance scene in Soul Eater where they're yelling and all that. But I recently got to play an old man for one line in a show, and I'm just gonna replace the name of the character. So I'm gonna use your name. It goes Brina is so hot. That was my line. It was awesome. Oh, and I also played the main character in that show, so getting to play two characters